I can pretend that it's not an obsession, but it is. Sup fam, today I am here to talk about the wonderful Counterprint bookstore. So I'm going to go through and talk about everything that I got from Counterprint recently. And they have the widest range of graphic design books that I've ever seen in my entire life. If there are other graphic design websites that anyone knows about that has a wider range of books, prove me wrong. No, hit me up about it because I need to know. So I got a few things, and I think it's really important as a graphic designer to just generally stay on trend with different design, and the best way to do that is by seeing inspiration from other designers. And I think it's important to not just look on Behance or Dribbble or those other graphic design websites, because it's easy to just get used to seeing your screen, which in a way always kind of looks the same, but when you can actually feel and touch something, actually being able to hold something that's in print in your hand makes all the difference. And it really gives you a different sense of how things are printed, how colors turn out, how different inks look on different paper, whether it's colored ink on colored paper or black and white or a variation of things. So it's really great to be able to look at these things in person. I know their stock is always changing from what they have available and all the new books that are coming out. So this is what I got most recently and what is giving me life right now. That moment when you're in a bookstore and they don't have a graphic design section. Who even are you? So the first things that I'm going to talk about are these Logo Archive baby little zines. Aren't they adorable? So cute. So I love these because they are done on colored paper, and the outside covers are the same as the inside covers. So it doesn't really feel like a booklet, it's more of a zine, which is a more casual feel, I would say. And it's great just for a quick reference because it's only a few pages and it's smaller, but it's great for something quick and easy. And I also love how there's different paper on the inside. It's a really great contrast because this outside paper is uncoated and this inside paper is glossy. And they have the different entry forms of what people were entering their logos into to actually get into this, which is pretty neat. And I also enjoy that it's a slightly different size than the other pages, so you get that wee bito margin right here on the sides, which is always very interesting. This guy right here has white ink on black paper. How cool can you get? So futuristic, so modern, so edgy, so much style. Again, this little card, just these little things in your design can make all the difference. I'm not only looking at these things because of my obsession, but because it'll give you ideas of what to do on your next design project. These two are a great series to have on hand. Next. All right, I'm gonna talk about this big boy since we just talked about the little baby ones in comparison. This is a work of art. I'm obsessed with the fact that this is the adult version of this baby zine. Adult, child, together, perfection. This book goes through all the letters as symbols. Who would have thought? And the great part about this book is that it's an international collection and it ranges from all years. It's not just super recent, which is really great as a reference book because it shows you the longevity of a brand if you're able to come up with something that has been able to last for such a long time and is still very recognizable. I mean, this symbol, they have symbols from all different time periods, whether it be super recent, 2018, 2019, to a little bit older. This symbol here is from 1969. Nice. 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 And it really shows when flipping through this book that all of these are pretty much equally as strong from one to the other. Doesn't matter what year that they're from. They're all very strong symbols. And I mean, obviously, because whoever was curating, that's insane. Whoever was curating this book, you know, was able to choose very strong symbols. One thing that I would actually change on this book, not saying that I don't love this book, but to actually be able to know that a symbol is so recognizable from both large and small scale, I think if they put a small, teeny baby size of each one of these icons at the very bottom here, then that would even prove the point more of how strong these symbols are. And it is a little annoying to have to go through each page rather than being able to see them all on the same page. So I think they should have added a glossary or index section in the back to show them all together to, you know, really be able to see them as a whole. Moving on. I'm just gonna get right to it. One of the most amazing books that was in my purchase is this Fedragoni. This book cover is this Fedragoni 366. Look at those colors. Look at it. It's beautiful. Look at this holographic overlay. That is what I'm talking about. Yes, get it, girl. Holographic everything will just make life better. So take a note from these guys. So it's 366 because guess what? Leap year, and last year was not a leap year, so 365 to represent a normal year and 366 to represent how baller we are this year. We get an entire extra day. 366 represent that leap year. What up, doe? This is my new Bible. This is it. This is it. This is all what we're here for. And if you want me to blow your mind even more, oh yeah, you didn't think that it could get better, and it just did. Not only is this rainbow beautifulness so satisfying and so great, the actual content of this is really cool too. How you can just pick any day, whether it be your birthday, an anniversary, or a holiday, and kind of just get inspiration. And it's really cool how the sort of overall feeling changes from page to page just based on the color, because these are all printed with black ink, but printing on colored paper really shows you how much that can really change a piece. And I just dive for this index glossary. How sick is that? I'm going to put this book under my pillow when I sleep and have beautiful graphic design dreams. This book I'm also very excited about. This is the AIGA Guide to Careers in Graphic Design. This is really great because it has interviews from a lot of different big designers in different industries and large name companies. This book has interviews from designers from all different very large companies, ranging from Facebook, the New York Times, Penguin Random House, Whitney Museum of American Art. If you can get a little bit of insight from people as important as this in the graphic design industry, I think that is worth its weight in gold. And I mean, this book was not crazy expensive or anything, so I really think that this one is worth it, and I cannot wait to read it and just see what different graphic designers are experiencing in their day-to-day life, because it's so easy to get bogged down in your certain work or whatever job you're working at and not realize what else is going on in the world. And I mean, it's so great and interesting to be able to see perspectives from other people. And I think that's what, continuing education is all about. Just, staying on top of trends and being able to understand what everyone else in a similar situation is able to do. And it's just really important to, stay on top of that kind of stuff. And not only does this have interviews from big name graphic designers, it also has a lot of different sections about graphic design as a career path, such as defining the discipline, what do designers need to know, where designers work, first steps, your first design job, navigating the field, and the future of careers in design. And it's important to be able to have a lot of background knowledge and information on the field that you're working in, because that'll be what allows you to grow. So this book I was drawn to because of the grid on the front. Don't judge a book by its cover, but I was definitely judging by the cover on this one, because how simple yet how striking is this? Just these red lines on top of this white book. I was just drawn to it. I mean, I don't know if there's any reason why I was biased because I was drawn to it. Maybe they're using the golden ratio or something, or maybe I just really like lines. Who knows? This book is all about structuring design, and it's really great because they give you different layouts actually used in the book. And I am kind of obsessed with this little, I don't even know what you would call that, section headers on the pages themselves. It's so interesting, just the things that you can do with a simple layout. And I love how this layout is very unorthodox in the way that they have their pages laid out right here on the bottom like that. It's so different and so unique. I really enjoy that. A great read. Also something that is really great when you're working on a editorial piece or something with a layout. It's good to have different options, and being able to see the grid laid out specifically rather than looking at a piece of work that's already created. It's kind of hard to lineate what exactly the grid is doing without it being spelled out for you. And this makes it a lot easier because there's a ton of examples in here with different types of materials and media and all of their grid layouts and how it's able to be used in different projects. So a great book to have on hand. Woo! If there's one thing I'm more obsessed with than graphic design, it's probably color. And this is the culmination of both of those things. I'm very excited to read The Anatomy of Color. And this book is so great because it goes through the history of color, and it has the story of heritage paints and pigments. The Anatomy of Color, the story of heritage paints and pigments. There's over 1,500 illustrations with thousands of different color palettes in here. I mean, there are so many, ranging from different historical periods to show you the wide range and use and availability of colors. I also really enjoy the cover. Gotta love that gold foil. And I just love how it actually looks like a color palette. It's so interesting. And I like how the back looks like a makeup color palette. And it's a nice hardcover book, which feels super sturdy, so it'll last a long time. And this is actually letterpress, so there's a bit of a groove for each one, and that really adds to the upscale feel of this book in general. When I'm working on a project, I could just see myself opening to any random page in this and laying the book down and getting ideas for colors, because sometimes it's so difficult to, decide on a color palette, and something like this will make it way easier. On to the stationery portion of what I got from Counterprint. Counterprint has an amazing selection of stationery, and it is the struggle, I am telling you, to not be able to buy everything in that store. It was hard enough to, whittle my purchase down to what it is, and I'm thankful that I'm able to get anything from this place because they have some really cool stuff and I'm very excited to use it. I'm very excited to use these stickers, and I know that they're pretty simple, but that's what makes them awesome. These are stickers that I feel like you wouldn't normally see out somewhere like Michael's or something like that. These are really unique, and I love that they're so simple, and the color palettes that they use are bright and fun, but I could just imagine using these for bullet journaling or something like that, and I love it. Here is this beautiful desk notepad that I got. And I'm extremely excited about this one because it has 3 different sections for different opportunities of drawing different types of grids. It has a to-do section, a blank section, and a gridded out note section. And I really love the bright pop of orange that is placed here. This is really great because when I have a notebook, a lot of the times the entire notebook will have a single grid, but this has multiple options on one page, and that'll help me be able to have a variety of different grids to be able to draw on at one time rather than having to go from sketchbook to sketchbook and switch out different papers. This will be all on one sheet, and it'll just be sitting on my desk in its lovely salmon beautifulness. So I'm excited to use this. Thank you for watching. See you next time.